Good afternoon. I welcome you to the last session on this course in entrepreneurship. We'll be discussing a special issue on entrepreneurship, which discusses family business and entrepreneurship. We'll be discussing at length about family business, various topics on family business. The objectives of this particular session or topic is after going through this unit, you should be able to discuss the development of family-based enterprises in India. You should be in a position to highlight the dynamics of functioning of family-based enterprises. You will be in a good position to comment upon the typical strengths and weaknesses of family-based enterprises and discuss issues involved in the professionalization of family business. So the structure is we'll be taking a look at family businesses in India. We'll try to define family business. We'll look into the theories of family business, the existing theories of family business, family control, how culture and governance play an important role in running family business, viability of family business, family management practices, issues and problems in family business, coping strategies, and if time permits, we'll also discuss the role models in Indian family businesses. To start off with the topic, as always, we have been trying to understand the entrepreneur, the manager, and the new venture that he starts. So as an entrepreneur and a manager, you need to fully understand business. Not just that, along with the understanding of business, you need to understand management and entrepreneurship in order to successfully step into today's business world. So three terms are important: business, management, and entrepreneurship. You need to understand these three in order to successfully step into the world of business. And understanding of the dynamism of these aspects would be incomplete if they are not studied in the context of family or a group of family running business enterprises. Indian industry is largely dominated by family-owned enterprises. They account for a significant proportion in all aspects of socio-economic and political life of the country. Family-owned enterprises have always been a matter of great curiosity, as they distinctively are different from other forms of business enterprises, for example, public sector, joint sector, or cooperatives, etc., in terms of their entrepreneurial, organizational, and managerial behavior and styles. This is because their behavior and styles are subject to the forces arising out of the emotions of family members, personal and interpersonal pressures of relatives, of owners, and conflicting interests and values of family. The uniqueness of these aspects lead a business firm to exhibit a unique set of operational characteristics and face a unique set of issues and problems. Fully getting into understanding of family businesses in India. According to Kant, a researcher, family-owned businesses in India controlled nearly rupees 26 lakhs crore of assets at the end of financial year 2016. Of the top 20 business groups in 2016, 15 are family-owned, contributing to 84% of the combined assets of the top 20 business groups. These family-owned businesses have generated revenue worth rupees 18 lakh crore in financial year 2016, accounting for 80% of the sampled combined value. About 50% of the businesses that are listed on the National Stock Exchange indexes are family-owned. All through the changes, one feature that has remained constant in India is the dominance of family-based business, demonstrating resilience in the face of dramatic changes. Indian economy has seen many changes since the country's independence. India belongs to Asia, and this region is highly regarded as one of the fastest growing regions in the world. Dana et al. In 2009 in their handbook have examined more than 40 countries in Asia and examined the entrepreneurial dynamics of small businesses within the continent. They have emphasized on the need for internationalization of entrepreneurs in this region. Entrepreneurs are now internationalizing, and many more are likely to internationalize in the future. Yet, most small firms expand in an opportunistic fashion because entrepreneurs seldom have the time and response or resources to gather reliable data about opportunities in foreign countries. Dana, in his book, offers his experience in entrepreneurial cultures of vibrant and changing Pacific Asia. Donnelly, in 1964, has defined a family firm as the one which has been closely identified with at least two generations of the family, and when this link has had a mutual influence on company policy and on the interests and objectives of the family. So Chow et al. In their definition of the family business have pointed out that family business is governed and managed with the intention to shape, preserve the vision of, pursue the vision of the business held by the members of the family in a manner that it is potentially sustainable across generations of the family. Family businesses are found to split up like amoeba as they grow, and very few of them survive beyond 3 generations, supporting the age-old saying, third sleep to third sleep in 3 generations. Families that successfully survive 3 or 4 generations have a complex web of structures, agreements, councils, and forms of accountability to manage their wealth. Family businesses represent one of the oldest forms of business organizations. So success in the family business has been the biggest challenge faced by companies in the long run. Succession in general terms can be defined as a replacement to transfer or a transfer of the management and control of the business from generation to generation. Ramadani, in his article in his research, has shared their findings related to succession in family business. According to Venter, family businesses are the most important contributors to wealth and employment creation in every country. Hence, to no surprise, about 1/3 of the companies listed in the Fortune 500 are family businesses. According to the Confederation of Indian Industry Research, family businesses contribute 60 to 70% of gross domestic product of most developed and developing countries. In India, with no exception, family businesses form the backbone of Indian economy, contributing to vast majority of national output and employment. Progress of the Indian economy is closely intertwined with that of family-owned businesses. According to Ramchandran, research in family-owned businesses in India still remains a black box. Most of the discussions are based on research in advanced countries. There is a need for research in this area. Sustainability of family businesses in volatile environment will benefit the country's economy. The Indian family businesses date back to the later half of the 19th century. According to Lamb, India's economy is dominated by the industrialists who are usually members of old trading communities. Since the later half of the 19th century, many family-run businesses have failed, but only a few have been able to mark their presence globally. This particular slide shows you the list of 17 Indian families that made it to the Forbes Asia's 50 richest list. You can see the Ambanis in rank 3. Origin of wealth is Reliance Group, which started in 1966, started by Dheerajlal Hirachandani or Dhirubhai Ambani. And net worth is more than 25.8 billion. They are Gujarati Badhiya business community people. 2 generations have been able to run the show. Likewise, you can see Ajim Premji listed here in this list of richest people of Asia. You also have Sapurji Palanji group, you have ArcelorMittal in the group, you have Aditya Birla, you have Bajaj Group, Dabur, and a list of many other, the Munjals, all this, Piramal Enterprises, all this are listed. These 17 rich people come in Asia's 50 richest lists of business men. So various terms like family owned, family controlled, or family managed are used to refer to family business. Terms like business houses and industrial houses are also used in the same context when a family is owning, controlling, or managing a number of business enterprises. The central concern in using these different terms is the involvement of a family or a group of family in business enterprises in one way or the other. Traditionally, a family business was defined as an enterprise in which a family or a group of families have invested a measured share of capital. This definition has not been found satisfactory as it did not clearly bring out the aspects like ownership, control, and management of a firm. Donnelly has defined family firm as one which has been closely identified with at least 2 generations of a family, and when this link has had a mutual influence on company policies and on the interests and objectives of the families. So Davis has given an elaborate definition of family business. Family businesses are those where a policy and direction are subject to significant influence by one or more family units. This influence is exercised through ownership and sometimes through the participation of family members in management. It is the interaction between 2 sets of organizations, family and business, that establishes the basic character of the family business and defines its uniqueness. All the 3 definitions given above indicate the following characteristics of family business. Number 1 characteristics, it's a group of people belonging to one or more families in one enterprise. Second characteristics, family exercise the influence on the firm's policy direction in the mutual interest of family and business. Third characteristics, family control can be seen in the form of ownership or in the form of management of the firm where family members are employed on key positions. The 4th characteristics is the succession of family business goes to the next generation. In essence, family business is one which is substantially controlled and or managed by members of family and is succeeded by the next generation. Family businesses have certain characteristics which we have seen, a few of them, that make them different from other business organizations. Some of these characteristics are based on their origin and the people who compose and direct them, which are based on the same family nucleus. Considering this, many family businesses arise as the result of a process in the evolution of an enterprise, which managed to grow and mature entrepreneurially, and where over time the entrepreneur's family became directly and permanently involved in this business model, thus becoming a family business. In this way, it is evident that the type of relationship that exists between an entrepreneur and his family influences directly and indirectly in the origin, development, and evolution of that business, building the basis for the origin of a family business. So below you can see some trends that allow identifying how much the family of the entrepreneur influences directly and indirectly in their business, and also how this family is influence helps to build the foundations for the origin of a family business. You can see the various trends like appropriate and use of technology, objectivity in human capital, mental health care and production, women's empowerment, abundance of economic shortages in family childhood, family financial support, family self-employment, family legacy. All this are nothing that provide, these are the trends that provide the base for the evolution of a business idea to a family business. So we have seen how families that successfully survives 3 to 4 generations have a complex web of structures, agreements, councils, and forms of accountability to manage their wealth. We have seen all this. We have discussed a little of this. Now, family businesses constitute the whole gamut of enterprises in which an entrepreneur or next generation CEO and one or more family members significantly influence the firm. They influence it via their managerial or board participation, their ownership control, the strategic preferences of shareholders, and the culture and values family shareholders impart to the enterprise. Participation refers to the nature of the involvement of family members in the enterprise as part of the management team, as board members, as shareholders, or as supportive members of the family foundation. Ownership control refers to the rights and responsibilities family members derived from significant ownership of voting shares and the governance of the agency relationship. Strategic preferences refers to the risk preferences and strategic direction family members set for the enterprise through their participation in top management, consulting, the board of directors, shareholder meetings, or even family councils. Culture is a collection of values defined by behaviors that become embedded in an enterprise as a result of the leadership provided by family members past and present. Family unity and the nature of the relationship between the family and the business also define this culture. So we have come to such a point where we can have a working definition of a family business. It can be defined as a unique synthesis of the following: ownership control, 15% or higher by 2 or more members of a family or partnership of families, strategic influence by family members on the management of the firm, whether by being active in management, by continuing to shape the culture, by serving as advisors or board members, or by being active shareholders. Concern for family relationship. Apart from all this, the dream or possibility of continuity across generations. So, adding to the previously discussed characteristics, we can add the following characteristics, which is defined as the essence of the distinctiveness of family firms. The presence of family is number one. The overlap of family management and ownership with its zero-sum win-lose propensities, which is the absence of growth of the firm, render family businesses particularly vulnerable during succession. The unique sources of competitive advantage derived from the interaction of family management and ownership, especially when family unity is high. The owner's dream of keeping the business in the family, the objective being business continuity from generation to generation. So time and again, it's important to know the various theories which shaped family businesses. We will now discuss the various existing theories which have brought about a revolution in the businesses which are family owned. So time and again, various experts have tried to study the characteristics and operations of family businesses. In the process, various theories have been evolved. Let us now discuss few predominant theoretical perspectives and approaches of family business. The first one is the systems theory. It focuses on viewing the world in terms of the interrelationships of objects with one another. We are accustomed to the idea of a business acting as a system, which may be seen as open or closed. The family equally is a system in its own right. Indeed, family systems theory looks at the family as a whole, usually envisaging it as a relatively close set of interactions between individual members. When a family owns and runs a business, however, an open systems view of family and business tend to predominate, emphasizing the interaction of the family with the business. This interaction is represented by the overlap between two circles. The dual system, family and business, are the two circles. Approach to family enterprise has been criticized on several grounds, including its neglect of other influential subsystems. Many researchers, they said that the dual system doesn't work out because of various other influential subsystems. These criticisms led to the development of multi-system models where ownership was added to family, business, and ownership. These are the multi-system models that you have. The revised model incorporates three overlapping circles. One circle represents family, the second one represents has become two. The first representing owners of shares in the firm and the other representing firm management. So family, firm management, and owners of shares in the firm are the overlapping circles. So family businesses may display more long-term commitment to family-based resources, regardless of resource adequacy, thus sacrificing business performance for family stability. Despite this, there are various studies that show that publicly quoted family businesses grow faster and are more profitable than non-family businesses and may perform even better if founding family members participate in management. An explanation of this phenomena is the resource-based theory or the view, which states that many family businesses create a competitive advantage out of their familyness. Indeed, familyness qualities such as strategic focus, customer orientation, family relationship, and operational efficiency may contribute to an effective market orientation. In consequence, family businesses may compensate for relative weakness in human and financial capital by building a distinctive type of social capital termed as family capital. An alternative theoretical perspective of family firms is agency theory, which has identified altruism and entrenchment as two fundamental forces that distinguish family firms from non-family ones. Common forms of conflict of interest that arise in family businesses is when some family members have ownership only and other family members have ownership and management rights. In this case, conflicts can arise between the principal, that is the family member who only owns property, and the agent, the family member who is also involved in the business. This situation can reduce altruism, effective collaboration, and information sharing, thus increasing agency costs. Alternatively, concentrated ownership combined with an absence of effective external governance mechanisms results in conflicts between controlling and minority shareholders. This phenomenon, known as the principal agency problem, is pervasive in emerging economies where most firms are family owned. Unlike agency theory, which emphasizes individuals' extrinsic motivation for self-serving, stewardship theory states that the members of a company are not predominantly self-oriented, but their motives support those of the company and go beyond merely economic objectives. In the context of family business, stewardship manifests in the deep commitment of its owners, managers for the continuity of the company, for the assiduous care of its employees, and for the search for closer connections with customers to ensure the sustainability of the business. A more recent approach to explaining family business dynamics is the socio-emotional wealth model, or it is called as the SEW model, an extension of behavioral agency theory referred to in the introduction of theories of family business. SEW captures the stock of effect-related value that a family derives from its controlling position in a given firm. This includes personal authority vested in family members, family influence over the business, and close identification with the firm. Under the viewpoint of behavioral agency theory, family principals make strategic choices that avoid SEW losses, even if they come at the expense of other principals, such as institutional investors. Stakeholder theory, people having interest in the firm in some way or the other are called its stakeholders. Hence, all stakeholders, shareholders, employees, society or community, family members, suppliers and customers are the shareholders of the company. In case of family business firms, the stakeholders are by and large from within the family, who are the investors, owners, and also the employees of the firm. The stakeholders outside the family relations largely are suppliers and customers. In all the business firms, all across, irrespective of family or non-family firms, interests of stakeholders should be balanced. Since many stakeholders are from the family, they should focus on serving interest of other stakeholders who are non-family members. Now, coming to family control, in the case of proprietorship and partnership, family control is exercised by the direct participation of family members in ownership and management of the firm. In the corporate sector, forms and means of control are variedly applied by families. Three types of controls are possible in the corporate sector. These are ownership, operation, and management. Ownership control is normal, held by holding a sizable block of equity. This form of control represents the voting power of family members. This form of control is a necessary condition to exercise the other two forms of control, that is operational control and management. Operational control is said to have taken place when all key positions at different levels are manned by family members. Under this control, family members have decisive power, and if professionals are hired, they merely give advice to family members. So management control is exercised through board of directors where family members are represented. The family members as directors determine the corporate objectives and major policies of the firm. A firm may be subject to one or all the three types of control. In some cases, power of control is gained on the basis of family reputation. The shareholders entrust the power of control to a particular family, mostly known as business house or industrial house. In such a case, the family or business need not hold a majority of shares. Different means are used to gain control over existing business, such as interlocking of board of directors or intercorporate investment or purchasing the controlling block of shareholding in open market. Culture is important in family business. We had defined culture earlier in one of the introductory slides. Family businesses are known for their strong distinctive cultures that are often heavily influenced by the vision, style, and values of the founder and carefully maintained through the generations. These cultures bind employees to a common cause and foster loyal and stable workforces. If managed well, a strong culture can prove to be a major competitive advantage for a family business seeking to attract and retain the best talent in order to achieve sustainable long-term goals. Despite the fact that your company's culture may not immediately spring to mind as a crucial competitive advantage, current studies on the family business culture reveal a strong link between better financial performance and outstanding corporate culture. So family enterprises are often led and stewarded by family members who are guided by values that are ingrained in the day-to-day operations of the business by the founder and have transcended generations of owners. Those values often garner loyalty from family and non-family who are strongly connected to the legacy of the business. The longevity of those values also helps sustain idiosyncrasies that support a unique culture, perhaps an entrepreneurial and pragmatic culture that embodies policies beyond profitability, such as employees, the community, and the environment. Ironically, research has shown the family companies with a broader focus than just on profits or more profitable. What's interesting about culture is that on some levels one can observe it and possibly describe it, yet it is impossible to imitate primarily due to its complexity. This makes culture unique like a fingerprint. A strong culture emerges in family businesses from the permanent prints left by the founder, but also from the adherence to core principles that have guided the family often for many generations. Family governance structures in family businesses. The governance in a family business is a system of processes and structures that put in place at the highest level of the business, family, and ownership to make the best possible decisions based regarding the direction in the business and assurance of accountability and control. Unlike corporate governance structures such as the board of directors, which are generally established due to regulatory requirements, family governance structures are voluntary and unique to family firms. Business families establish family governance structures to improve family relationships, ensure clarity in roles and responsibility, manage expectations of different family members, and facilitate alignment of family members from multiple generations. Same family governance structures primarily deal with in intra-family relationships and family relationships with the business. They are formulated as per the unique requirements of different business families. External professionals generally advise family businesses to develop and adopt family governance structures. Family governance structures can be formal, such as family constitutions, meetings, and councils, and informal mechanisms like informal family events, culture, and family values. Viability of business. Family business is the most traditional form of business enterprise. Despite the development of various other forms of enterprises, the family form of business enterprise dominates. Those who are advocates of professional management argue that the traditional family values of enterprise stability often clash with changing economic goals of sustained investment and growth. Let us discuss the positive and negative sides of family business. Negative side, the intervention of family in the management of the firm is often considered unhealthy and unprofessional. This affects the organizational efficiency and performance in many aspects. Some of the commonly occurring negative effects are discussed here. Nepotism is one. Nepotism is one of the marked features of family business enterprises. The blood relationship determines the entry into business and holding of key positions. Merit becomes secondary and even an insignificant criterion for promotion. This affects the loyalty and commitment of hired professionals. The inefficiency of relative employee is often covered up by the efficient performance of non-relative employees. This ultimately makes the total functioning of organization inefficient. Overlap between business and family goals is another feature of family business. Logically, the goal of the enterprise is oriented to fulfill the interest and achievement of the family. This many a time contradicts the survival and growth goals of the firm. Family members very often pursue their personal goals at the cost of sacrificing growth opportunities of the firm. This threatens the long-term survival of the firm. Family rigidity is another negative aspect, is the third feature, which imposes poor profit discipline. Family members are very often prioritize certain aspects of firms functioning on the basis of family value or family distance. For example, family value is to create a good social image, which requires giving employment to needy people, which may affect the profits of the firm. Many times, family members unduly support their pet projects, no matter how profitable they are. Positive side, family which is considered obstructive to the business performance is also considered a major source of strength and support in many aspects. Some of the advantages of family business are discussed here. The basic premise on which family business rests is its stability and continuity, which are linked from generation to another, from one generation to another. The long-term interests of family members in the business often provides the sentiments of family solidarity and natural loyalty. Family members work with each other with a great team spirit to attain a common goal. They make personal sacrifices by taking minimum dividends from the firm and bringing in personal financial resources in the time of financial crisis. Many times, businesses get greater priorities under their personal needs. Loyalty and dedication of family members have been responsible for continued operation during the period of hardship. The image and social reputation of family become the goodwill of the firm. It helps in establishing trust and credibility in the market. Bankers and suppliers feel comfortable in dealing with such family-owned enterprises for their good image and reputation. Since stakeholders and firm and managers of the firm work unitedly, managers are less sensitive to the criticism based on short-term performance. They enjoy a great amount of freedom and flexibility in concentrating on long-term objectives of the firm. This is possible only in family businesses. Both stockholders and managers have mutual understanding and trust. There are other conditions in which the choice of the family form of enterprise becomes most essential. Entrepreneurs who have worked very hard throughout their life to build a business empire very often desire that the fruits of their hard work must go to their families. At the same time, they have many obligations towards the family as they derive the initial capital and emotional support from the family. Therefore, new enterprises adopt the family business form to satisfy family needs. During the transition period, the founder needs trustworthy people to take care of sensitive operations as he finds it difficult to manage the business alone. She or he looks for family members and relatives as a source of strength to fill the transitional gap. Small firms cannot afford to hire professionals, and therefore they start taking family members and relatives to provide support in the growing business. The legislative environment has also been indirectly a binding force on the founders to adopt family business to enjoy certain benefits. The foregoing discussion is highlighted advantages and disadvantages of the family business system. It has also been made clear that under certain conditions, the family form of business becomes almost essential. As against the family business, the professional management system is being advocated. The professional management system helps transform the proprietary firm into a modern corporation in which family ownership and control are separated. It has been thought that the continuity of family business can be ensured only through professionalization due to increasing complexity in the environment. The advocate of professionalization observed that family business, because of its inherent weaknesses like nepotism, favoritism, rigidity, and conservative policies, is likely to be vulnerable in the long run. Professionalization is certainly a need of the time to ensure stability and continuity of the family business in the long run. However, the professional management practices are not fully foolproof in many respects. Firstly, nepotism and favoritism are also found in professionally managed companies where it is based on caste, community, and regions, etc. In fact, many decisions of promotions are considered on the basis of these factors, ignoring merit. Professional managers are often criticized for its lack of entrepreneurial initiative, which hamper the growth potential of the business. Their commitment and loyalty to the business is also doubtful, as they do not have any stake in the enterprise. In fact, the so-called professional managers have yet to prove professional excellence to create an image and goodwill. Moreover, the supply of professional managers is not adequate in the developing countries, especially in a country like India. Despite a few weaknesses of family business, it seems family business is still a useful system to achieve pace in industrial development. The unique supply of entrepreneurial and managerial resources from the business family has been responsible for the large-scale success of business force of the country. Family businesses have continued to be viable even in the present context because of its ability to respond quickly to the changing needs of business by making dramatic or drastic internal adjustments. Now, looking into the many family management practices, to get acquainted with the family business, it is necessary to learn some of the commonly employed management practices in family business. An attempt is made to describe the choices of management control that are available to the founder, internal work environment, organizational structure, and delegation. One is a management control mechanism. Choices. The family business consists of two systems, family and task system. The task system is subject to the influence of the family system. The task system is determined on the basis of norms, values, and principles of family and its members. The family has different options through which it can control and manage the task system. These are as follows. In the first case, founder may decide to exercise direct control on the management of the firm. Under the direct control system, family members are given a certain number of shares with the assurance of power of voting by family members. All important decisions are taken by the founder, which is binding on the other members of the family. Another choice the founder has is to dilute his authority of direct control by consulting a few selected family members before taking important decisions. Certain areas are clearly defined where approval of the family members is needed. For example, any decision concerning capital investment needs the approval of family members. The founder uses professionals to carry out the management function. The founder clearly defines the boundaries between business and family decisions. Family members are assured of ownership control while business-related decisions are taken by different heads of business. The founder may decide to place the under the full control of the family. Family members are involved in the early stages of enterprise development at different levels to take charge of various management functions. Internal environment. Family business consists of two sets of individuals, family members and non-family members. The sentiment system of the family system is at its core and made up of those individuals who are bound by emotions and loyalty. The non-family members are subject to the rules made by the family owning the enterprise. The general feature of family business is that the top man is surrounded by a loyal cadre of top management professionals who are highly trusted individuals and are with the enterprise from the beginning. They have normally grown with the firm and exhibit intense feeling of permanent relationship with the founder. The forces of tradition, kinship, caste, and religion support that integrity of the family business. Relatives of the family members are hired and placed on key positions of the firm. They get fitted in the internal environment of the firm more easily than non-relative employees. The relatives have free access to the top man no matter at what level he is, while non-employees have to strictly adhere to the formal channel. Decisions are taken by the family members, and the power to take decisions is normally centralized at the top. Professionals are hired to give technical advice, and they do not pass any decision-making power. Since relation is considered as one of the basic criteria for selecting people for top and mid levels, non-relative employees at junior levels suspect the authority of those who are at the top and feel that they do not deserve it by competence. They often complain that it is difficult for them to work productively with non-competent family members or relatives. Competence among family members or relatives, non-relative employees normally lead to subtle rivalries amongst them. This creates a climate of poor interpersonal relations and politics. Objectives and policy direction of family members are oriented towards the goals of the family. Therefore, internal environment of family business is created to reinforce and perpetuate family pride and tradition. Organizational structure and delegation. Normally, organizational structure of family business is hierarchical and decision-making authority is centralized at the top. The organization is structured on the functional basis. The family business also avoids standardization as no specific policies are clearly stated. Family businesses are often criticized for the lack of professionalism in dealing with environmental complexities more efficiently. Intervention of family in the business affects business-like responses to various situations of opportunities and threats. As a result, more and more family businesses are getting into trouble. Because of certain family norms or principles, a number of growth opportunities are lost. Family principle is not to have outsiders meeting in family affairs. When the growth opportunities need raising of extra capital through equity financing, the family may decide not to go for equity financing as it means loss of freedom of family in the business. Such sacrifices in the interests of family may weaken the organization and make it more inefficient, which in turn threatens survival. So issues and problems in family business, rivalry amongst relatives can be an issue. Competition with each other amounts to pull each other down at the cost of the organizational resources. The rivalry further gets complicated when other members of the family directly or indirectly favor one of them. So this can lead to the complication as one of them carries the feeling of unjust and undue favoritism. Under such circumstances, a few family members can even take action which will lead the firm into disaster. So many a time succession is unplanned, and therefore in the event of death or early retiring of the founder, the eligible successor is chosen to run the business. In such conditions, the successor is not psychologically prepared to take the charge of the business. In the case of second and third generation successors, when there is more than one eligible successor in the family, the distribution of assets and activities of business becomes difficult. This can be an issue. Professionalization in family business is another issue. It is argued that family business system is desirable at the stage of enterprise initiation and survival. But when the business starts growing, it is desirable to replace family management with professional management. A team of professional managers perform the function of entrepreneurship and management of the firm. Professional management is expected to achieve excellence in building a human, physical, and financial resources and capture new opportunities of growth with professional approach through research and development. To realize the natural resources of family business like commitment, loyalty, initiative, entrepreneurship, financial resources, family image, etc., more effectively, it is essential that A family business develops certain key advantages and overcomes certain inherent weaknesses, like we have discussed earlier in one of the slides. Based on some of the successful family businesses, certain coping strategies can be put in place, like linking family and business goals. The goals, successful family businesses are the ones which have been able to establish the close link between family and business. Family and business, by clarifying that the goal of the family can be achieved only if the enterprise achieves its long-term goals. Strategically, eliminating some amount of family participation strengthens the leadership of the family members who are in the business, which ultimately results in better performance. Recruitment of relatives. The best managed family businesses have adopted the policy of not recruiting relative employees at all. The needy relatives are helped by the founders to find jobs elsewhere. This may be considered a too rigid policy, as there may be a professionally competent person in his family or relation who would not be selected purely on the ground that he happened to be a relative of the founder. Instead of having such a rigid policy, one may have a recruitment policy stating that relatives may be considered for employment provided they stand up to the company's standards. This policy would also ensure better cooperation of family and relatives. At the same time, business norms are not sacrificed in the interests of the family. Task structuring is another coping strategy. It will be unrealistic to imagine a family business, however successful it is, to remain away from certain inherent issues pertaining to the family. It is also possible that despite all possible efforts to avoid a number of family issues in business may continue to remain unresolved. In such a case, to save the business from possible consequences, the primary task structure of the organization may be designed in a manner to minimize the negative effects on its performance. So, a number of strategies for task structuring can be suggested. The founder must try to identify those critical operations or critical operational activities which need to be adequately supported to ensure at least the survival of the firm. The firm must create reserves to meet any contingencies occurring owing to non-cooperation or indignation of family members. The founder should take extra care to keep morale and motivation of the employees so high that they continue to remain committed and loyal to the firm. Very often, founders refuse to accept certain lapses in the organization which are a result of family issues. This leads to a state of confusion in the organization, resulting in family members blaming each other for poor performance. The founders should accept certain given problems as weakness because of family-based management system. This would help avoid unnecessary anxiety and politics in the organization. One aspect of family business is succession and continuity. These are two important aspects that needs to be kept in mind in order to continue with family business. Family firms are unique in the extent to which succession planning assumes a key role and very strategic role in the firm's life. Because competitive success, family harmony and ownership returns are all at stake at the same time in the firm, carefully orchestrating the multi-year process represented by succession across generation of owner managers is a priority. There are hundreds of reasons why organizations fail, but in family-owned and family-controlled companies, the most prevalent reason relates to failure in succession planning. You cannot take a casual approach to succession, whether the casual is incompetent or unprepared successors, unclear succession plans, a tired strategy that is unable to contain competitors or family rivalries and bids for a power. If a family business is going to survive, it has to successfully craft its succession process. So ineffective succession can be because of conservatism, rebelliousness, and wavering. Without vision and leadership from members of two generations and the use of select family management and governance practices, the future is bleak for family-controlled enterprises. The blurring of boundaries among family membership, family management, and family ownership subjects family businesses to potential for confusion, slow decision-making, or even corporate paralysis. An inability to adapt to changes in the competitive marketplace or powerlessness to govern the relationship between the family and the business will ultimately undermine the enterprise. As a result, a family business that lacks multi-generational leadership and vision can hardly be positioned to retain the competitive advantages that made it successful in a previous, often more entrepreneurial generation. It takes ongoing dialogue across generations of owner-managers about their vision for the company to build a family business so that it continues. Family businesses have been built to last. Recognize the tension between preserving and protecting the core of what has made the business successful on the one hand, and promoting growth and adaptation to changing competitive dynamics on the other. Family businesses that are confident that each generation will responsibly bring a different but complementary vision to the business have a foundation on which to build continuity. So at the end, let us take a look at the various role models in India in family business. First, there are many family businesses in India that are doing extremely well, not only in India, but also across borders. These businesses are contributing hugely in socio-economic development of our country. Few of the family businesses that we can think of the first one comes Tata Group, which was founded by Jamsetji Tata, who was an entrepreneur and philanthropist belonging to the Parsi Zoroastrian priest family. Gujarat-born and Mumbai-educated J.N. Tata joined his father trading firm in the year 1858 when he was 19 years of age. 10 years later, he started trading company Tata Sons. Tata Sons Limited is the holding company of Tata Group. Tata Group has many businesses running together. In the year 1903, he inaugurated the Taj Mahal Hotel at Colaba in Mumbai. At that time, it was the only hotel to have electricity. He had two sons, Dorabji and Ratanji Tata. Dorabji Tata established Tata Steel, which was founded by his father, Jamsetji Tata. Indian Institute of Science was established in Bangalore. Ratanji Tata, popularly known as RJD Tata, is also taking the legacy forward. There is no such area where Tata business is not running. With the passage of time, Tata Group established many companies in various sectors of the society. Another name that comes immediately to the mind, which has a good family business in India, Aditya Birla Group. Sidsip Narayan Birla was the founder of one of the most successful and affluent family business groups in India. He was a founder of this Birla Group. These firms did businesses in grain, silver, cotton, and other commodities. The sons took forward the legacy of running the business. Recently, Kumar Mangalam Birla and Aditya Bikram Birla are the man behind the Birla Group. Godrej is another name. Godrej family owns and runs the Godrej Group. It is an Indian conglomerate company with its headquarters in Mumbai. This group was founded in the year 1897 by two brothers, Adi Godrej and Pirutsa Godrej. He started with lock making business. Adi Godrej was a law graduate, and law as profession did not fascinate him much. He started to think of doing something on his own. Started manufacturing surgical instruments, but it did not do well. Then he ventured into lock-making business, which is a big hit till date. Now, this group operates in diverse sectors such as real estate, consumer products, industrial engineering, appliances, furniture, security, and agricultural products. The last but not the least is the Reliance Industries Limited. Is a renowned family, as all of you know, headquartered in Mumbai, India. 1966, it started and founded by Dhirubhai Ambani. It was started as a small textile manufacturing unit. 1973, RIL was incorporated and the company name was confirmed as RIL in the year 1985. After Dhirubhai's death, his two sons, Mukesh and Anil Ambani, took over the business. However, as their father had died without leaving a will, they began to have disagreements over ownership issues and business governance. In order to settle the conflict, Kokila divided Reliance firm between her two sons in 2005. Despite this, the feud between the two brothers continued. After a series of feuds, the two brothers made up in 2010. As a result, they did business with each other's company and had a very friendly connection, which was also visible in public. Finally, in 2014, the third generation of Ambani family joined Reliance to establish their presence in the family-owned enterprise. Mukesh's son and daughter, Akash and Isa Ambani, were the first members of the Dhirubhai family's third generation to be appointed as directors of Reliance Jio Infocom and Reliance Retail Ventures, respectively. Anil's son, Jai Anmol, joined Reliance Capital the same year. Over the years, the company has transformed their business and has entered into many sectors. Reliance has entities across sectors like vitality, petrochemicals, materials, common assets, retail, and broadcast communications. Reliance is one of the most prominent businesses in India. In 2004, Reliance Industries became the first Indian private sector organization to be listed in the Fortune Global 500 list. So with this, we come to an end of the discussion on the last special issue on entrepreneurship, which is family business and entrepreneurship. So I hope we have gone through all the topics of entrepreneurship and we have done justice to a simple understanding of entrepreneurship in India. Thank you.
Kau tu macam tu dengan dia.